What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Sly Jordy, and welcome back to some more F1 25 driver career mode for the Bahrain Grand Prix. But if you missed last episode, of course, we kicked off season 3, balancing out the field in terms of R&D to see if we can get the most competitive season possible. And for starters, it didn't seem to be that easy. McLaren obviously continuing where they left off in season 2, but then Leclerc, the consistency prevailed, and he seems to be the strongest driver by far thus far this season. I think he got a P2 in the China Sprint as well. We got a P3 in the China Sprint, and our highest position so far was a P2, but Leclerc was miles out in front in that race with mixed conditions, and we spent the latter half of that Grand Prix defending against Piastri because we took the risk. I wanted to see if I can undercut the both of them by pitting a lot earlier onto the intermediums, knowing that the rain was only going to get worse during that race. And we were able to overtake Piastri at the very least, and we did have to defend against him for the remainder of the Grand Prix. But it was pretty easy, of course. It's very difficult to overtake in the rain, and we were able to save ERS throughout the entire track. And so the only part Piastri could easily overtake us, we negated that because we basically just drained all our battery every time we got down the back straight. But not only that, our new teammate Yuki Tsunoda finished in P5, so it's a pretty strong start to the season for ourselves at Aston Martin, a stronger start for McLaren and Ferrari as expected, but Red Bull and Mercedes not as strong as usual. Well, Mercedes aren't anyway. Red Bull, of course, last season they were pretty bad, and so they have an entirely new team with Callie Mayer and Aiden Jackson. Aiden Jackson has 10 points thus far this season. Callie Mayer only has 2, but it is only a matter of time before Callie starts to pull in the results for Red Bull, especially when the field is balanced out a lot more. Our hydraulics failed when I tried to do them, unfortunately. That only had a 25% chance of failing, and unfortunately that will not arrive in time for the Bahrain Grand Prix. At least I don't think so. We are getting weekly resources on the 31st, so we'll see. But chances are we're not going to be able to get it in time, which is a big shame. Yeah, we're not able to get it, but at least it is a 0% failure chance, and we will be getting it for Imola. And this is a major upgrade to the chassis. As you can tell, we are the second worst when it comes to this part of the car, and you can really feel it. I think this is the only thing hindering us from being possibly the best car on the grid, so that's definitely something I want to achieve, that is for sure. So skipping ahead now, we've got more weekly resources. We've got improved energy store cells arriving very soon. All the chassis developments that we could possibly get, we are getting, including the improved energy store cells, which is a fully major part for the chassis. So we weren't able to get hydraulics, but we were able to get that one. Let's go. Without any issue, so they'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend. Okay, that's cool. Let's do that one. In terms of these objectives, we'll do that one. Could do that one. And then that one. Easy. Right, okay, so yeah, we got nothing else to do except carry on towards the Bahrain Grand Prix. And of course, McLaren have had another upgrade removed from the car. So what big difference is that going to make in terms of the field spread? Of course, Bahrain, we've been looking forward to this. We've always gone pretty strong around this track. Tracks like Australia and China especially. China has some acceleration issues. I've never been the greatest at Australia. So now we're at a track that completely leans into my style of driving. Is a much easier track to drive as well. So we can really see the full effects of the car. Fortunately, we won't be able to do FP1, which is absolutely fine by me. Looking at the R&D charts now, it is getting closer and closer between ourselves and McLaren. Of course, Ferrari only just behind us. Same with Williams, Mercedes. Alpine have overtaken Red Bull. Williams, of course, have moved up as well. So quite interesting going into this weekend, that is for sure. But looking for real right now, McLaren have actually gained an upgrade going into this weekend, which is very strange. They shouldn't be gaining at all considering this is all about balancing out the field. Maybe they're removing just durability parts, which will keep them ahead of everybody else. I don't know. But they don't really seem to be moving down at all between like China and Bahrain, which is very, very strange. But I've got to know for sure that they'll be coming eventually. We've got 2 chassis parts arriving very, very soon on the same day. So Imola is going to be a very good track for us should those upgrades arrive. We're going to go to quick practice and we'll do the tyre management and track acclimatization programs right away. I've also turned the quality down on the live streams. I've noticed that the last few live streams have actually become unstable, and you know, the audio and the video has gone out of sync. It's one of the most infuriating things as a content creator. But usually when I move it down from 1080p to 720, it mostly cures that issue. So we should be okay. How did that program fail? That is not a good sign, but we can always get it in FP3, of course. So obviously when I go into practice, we usually just focus on race strategy, which is what we will do when we go into FP2. But yeah, so far so good. It's been a decent start to the season considering we put the difficulty up. So yeah, let's go into Bahrain. I've missed driving around this track. Did we even do Bahrain in Season 2? I don't think... Oh yeah, we did. We started with Bahrain in Season 2. So yeah, off we go to the track, ready for race strategy. Let's go. And I will be streaming later on tonight as well with Bloodborne. So if you're interested in that, be sure to keep an eye on your notifications. Alright. Okay, we've got one set of mediums, which is absolutely fine. I think the other ones got used in quick practice. No, this is the only set of mediums I have in practice. Okay, that's cool then. Whatever. I'm only going to be using the mediums anyway. Let's get some track evolution on the track. Let some cars drive around before I go out. But yeah, it's a very interesting season thus far. We are definitely stronger than I thought we would be, considering where we were last season. So I'm quite happy with it right now. But obviously we want to be a little bit better. We want to actually go for wins if we want to defend this championship. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay, right. It is time to go out. Let's do this.
Don't push the car just yet. Track is still green. Try to take it easy for the first couple of laps.
Alright, here we go then. Okay, and as usual, we're going to use a lot of VRS on this outlet because we won't be using it during the program.
I want you to drive at a representative pace, alright? No hot laps this time.
Yeah, no hot laps, and that's why I use it here. The ERS here, so... Honestly, it might be best just to leave overtake on for the whole lap. Because by the time we finish the practice program, the ERS will be back to 100%. So, it's not something I'm exactly worried about. Yeah, we'll get it down to about 15%, that's cool. Here we go then. 5 laps of Bahrain to dictate how much fuel load we'll have for the race. That's why I do this program every time. See people watching, what's up? I wonder how our teammate is doing in terms of in terms of his lap times. Jackson doesn't seem to be doing too good in the Red Bull. P17 so far. I bet Yuki is not too far above Doohan. I don't think he'd be top 10. Oh, he is! P6. We did go faster than Sonoda on that first lap. Hulkenberg's going pretty quick on the kick Sauber. Yeah, that seems to have pretty good one lap pace, the kick Sauber. Doesn't seem to have good pace in the race though. Because I don't think they've scored any points yet. I don't know, we'll have to have a look. I don't think they have. Yeah, for those of you who are going to be watching the Bloodborne episode tonight, be sure to check out the previous 2 episodes that I did. I think I'm starting to get the hang of it now. I don't know, but apparently I've only done 1 mandatory boss so far, which I don't mind. Doing optional bosses is always a good thing because, you know, it can get you leveled up, obviously. But yeah, it just goes to show I have no idea where I'm going on the game, which is great, honestly. I like... The biggest reason I like the Souls games is because I just don't know where I'm going a lot of the time, right? So it's kind of like, you get that exploration feel out of it. Something that Dark Souls 3 didn't have, you know, Dark Souls 3 is very linear. I did say in my first episode, a baby could navigate Dark Souls 3. At least in the level design anyway. But yeah, we're quicker than Sonoda around Bahrain, which is a good thing. I have no idea how Hulkenberg is getting the pace that he gets, but we seem to be close to the kick Saubers on 1 lap pace. Of course, we obviously have better race pace. So, I am not overly worried about the kick Saubers, although in qualifying that could hurt us. It is an extra car to overtake in the race after all. If we want to win, we want to be as high up the field as possible. And if I'm going to get a win at any track, I genuinely do think it'll be this one. We'll have to see. Oh, on Spa. But when we get to Spa, I'm actually going to put it on 110 difficulty. Like, max difficulty. Because that track is kind of like Monaco in these games. The last couple of games. It's just really easy for some reason. I don't get it. So I'm quite excited to get up to that. I'm always excited for Spa, though. It's such a great track to drive on. A lot of wear on the left side of the car. last lap.
Program complete and a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can take you through the numbers.
Alright. Well, car feels pretty good. But to be fair, Bahrain always feels good. Well, unless it's F124. Well, I think F124 is okay now. But at launch it certainly wasn't. Bahrain felt awful. Pretty much every track felt awful because the cars felt awful.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
Alright. Quicker than our teammate on the mediums, which is a good sign. I don't know who's above us, but I don't like seeing Hulkenberg there, I'm not gonna lie. But again, like I said earlier, the kick Saubers seem to have pretty good one-lap pace. And not much besides, so I'm cool. I don't think we've seen a single kick Sauber in the full race, other than Australia, but that's only because I didn't do a second lap in quali. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Leclerc leads. Leclerc is looking rapid. To be fair though, he did that on softs. So I don't know how it's going to look at the end of the session, though it is nearly ended, so we can literally just fast forward it. See what happens. Lando goes quickest on the softs. He did 5 laps. But he did that lap a lot later than Leclerc, so...
What an incredible practice session that was, but the fun doesn't...
Yeah, honestly, I feel pretty good about that practice session. That wasn't too bad at all. Not bad. Okay. So we'll do FP3 to get the rest of these practice programs done. Right, I think it's just one that we need to do. For the R&D thing anyway. I think we got all of them here. Yeah. So we just need this one. There we go. Cool. And we can just retire from the session, rake in the points, and see if we can buy any new parts. I wonder if, like, when it comes time for us to remove a part from our car for the R&D thing, I wonder if we can actually choose what part we get rid of. I hope we can, because, like, I definitely don't want to get rid of any chassis parts. We could maybe get rid of some aero, perhaps. But chassis has always been our weak point on this Aston Martin, so I definitely don't want to do much with that, that's for sure. Okay, let's have a look. We got 468 R&D points. The only things we have is aerodynamics to do, so this is mostly major stuff. It doesn't matter though, like we are top in terms of aerodynamics, so we could maybe leave this for a bit. Maybe Sonoda could do whatever he wants with this, but I personally want to focus on chassis because we're looking pretty woeful. We are going to catch up quite a bit in time for Imola though, so that's a really good sign. These are only worth like 800. This one's worth 600, so maybe we can get something good out of that. We could also improve the powertrain, but our powertrain is not the worst. It's pretty much the same as all the Mercedes-powered cars. What is that? What is that car at the top? What car's missing? I can't tell. I probably look so dumb right now. I can't tell. Let me have a look. Alpine. Wait. Yeah, did we see Alpine there on the powertrain? Oh my god. Alpine have got the most powerful engine in Formula 1 right now. That's crazy, considering the real life thing. Where Alpine usually have the weakest, because it's the Renault engine. But obviously in these regulations it'd be Mercedes powered. Right? Well, in our little universe I suppose. But actually in-game it's still the Renault engine. So that's definitely very strange. But here we go then. Into qualifying. I feel confident. We should do well.
Well, as the sun goes down, the speeds go up. It's almost time to get underway for this shootout for the fastest time and the best possible grid position for tomorrow's race. Let's get on with it. It's qualifying for the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Yeah, let's go. Okay. Let's get a lap done, like, right away, just to say we've got one done. Oh, let me check the tyre allocation first, just in case. Yeah, we got more than enough. Let's go.
Everyone ready? Okay, let's go.
I think I've heard a car go out. I don't know which one though. Seems to be a Kick Sauber. Yeah, I think a Kick Sauber's gone out. Okay. Yeah, it is. It's a Sauber. Kick Sauber, a Red Bull I think that is, and a Ferrari not too far behind me. Yuki's there as well, the other Sauber's out. Okay, interesting. Okay, here we go. Uh-oh, look, car's in the way. Not the greatest turn one. Pretty shocking turn one, to be honest. Maybe the tyres were cold. Yeah, it's not been a good lap. I won't lie. It don't feel like a good one anyway. Yep, I don't think we're going to have enough ERS across the line. Can't really use overtake. Yeah, that was shocking. That was a really bad lap from me then. That was really bad. I made like a huge mistake in turn one. I think the tyres were too cold or something. I wasn't exactly trying to warm them up. But, where did I lose most of my time? I had a decent second sector. I was quicker than Yuki at the very least. Decent second sector, not a very good third sector because I ran out of ERS because I was trying to compensate for how bad turn one was. To be fair, actually, compared to a lot of the other drivers, my sector one wasn't too bad. But again, that's probably because I was compensating with too much ERS for awful turn one. So, yeah, both Kick Saubers ahead. I think Kick Saubers might have made some upgrades going into this weekend. Callie's got a really good time in for Red Bull. We are quicker than our teammate. There's Aiden Jackson splitting us up in the other Red Bull. So, yeah, we just got to focus on having a much better turn one, that's for sure. But it's not the worst thing in the world. I think if we can get turn one good, then I can focus on the rest of the lap and not have to overcompensate. Sonoda's gone out a bit early for that lap, I won't lie. In fact, he's gone for a second lap. Alright, let's get out. I might have left it a little bit late. I really hope not, because I already made this mistake in Australia. Come on. We should be alright. 2 minutes to get round the track, right? 2 minutes 20? I hope we're alright. But yeah, Sonoda went out way too early for that lap. He is not going to qualify well at all. I don't know what he was doing. This is why I always go out last. Get the most track evolution as possible, so I get more grip than anybody else. Yeah, the fronts must have been like really cold. Right, tyres should be a lot hotter now. I do want to get them closer to the rears though, before we get this started. Okay, let's do this. I bet we're going to get a P7. Brake a little bit earlier just to make sure we get through turn one. A lot cleaner than last time.
30 seconds left in the session.
We're not going quicker, even though I feel like this is a much cleaner lap. Very strange. I find a lot of times in this game that actually I go slower on the second attempt, even though I think there should be more grip. Or maybe it gets colder or something, I don't know. I mean, look at how much time we lost. I don't think I've driven any differently. Maybe it's about the amount of VRS, but I thought we would have gained a lot more through turn 1.
Okay, we've dropped into P14 now.
Okay, gained a lot in Sector 3 there, 2/10. But that only gets us P14. My god. Going up from 102 difficulty to 104, you really don't think it's that much. It's only 2. But my god, there's a big difference.
Really, we're just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Yeah, Kicksauber looking a lot quicker. Leclerc didn't do well neither, so... I don't seem to be the only driver running into these issues, but my god, our qualifying performances this season are not good at all. But yeah, it's P14 in Bahrain. Bahrain is usually a really good track for overtakes on race pace though, so we ended up doing really good in Australia, so maybe if we have a similar strategy in tonight's race, then yeah, we might be able to secure a good result, but McLaren with a front row lockout, don't think we're going to get anywhere near them. We'll see though. We shall see. Let's get into it. 20 laps of Bahrain. Let's do it. Really got to find a way to improve quali though. I don't know how though, to be quite honest. I mean, I could turn down the difficulty. I feel like 104 is really good for the racing so far, but qualifying, I don't seem to be doing that well. To be fair, though, Yuki's are not doing the greatest neither, so it seems to be pretty close in performance to where I feel we should be then, judging from that. So, it isn't that bad. Alright. So again, like I always say, our race pace is always a lot better than the quali pace. So yeah, let's make that improvement. Let's keep that up and see what we can salvage from the race. But there's a good chance we won't even win the championship this season because of it.
We're here again then at a circuit famous for its stunning visuals and thrilling battles for glory. Who will take the spotlight in the Bahrain Grand Prix today? Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities, and it could be a strategic race this one, with SAKHIR notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. And alongside me in the commentary box, my old friend, Anthony Davidson. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday. But in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, Crofty. You know, the cars have got bigger, they're heavier. But critically, there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was about 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometers an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance. But because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow-speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
All right.
Okay, mate, Mark here. Quick radio check. Right, we're hoping for another strong podium this weekend, so go get out there and get us a result.
Mediums to softs. Interesting. Obviously, we'll go with that. We could go with with hards to go for an extra lap. Like if I do that, yeah, we just keep losing time. And it will only be 6 laps to go on the softs. Alright, it looks like we're going mediums to softs then. Softs are viable for a race. I don't believe it. Jackson is starting on the soft. So is Albon. Antonelli's on the hards. Interesting. Okay. Let's get these tyres warmed up. We've got a lot of work to do, but it is around a track that I heavily favour for overtakes. Especially like versus a similar situation that we had in Australia. Shouldn't be too bad. These tyres do not want to warm up. It's a pretty cold night in SAKHIR right now, it seems. Yeah, they are just not warming up. I can't imagine how bad Antonelli's tyres are going to be. Well, they do seem to be getting there actually. Particularly on that little section. Yeah, okay, we did it. At least the fronts, anyway. Alright. Our teammates in P17.
Superb parking there.
Let's go.
Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out.
Decent start. There's Antonelli with the slow start. I anticipated that. And those cold, hard tyres. Be a bit careful going into this section, obviously. Bit of collision there with Jackson. Behrman and Leclerc side by side. 3 wide going through there. Look at this little battle going on here. Between ourselves, the Haas and the Ferrari. Can we get them both done in one move? Yes, we can. Absolutely beautiful. Look at the kick Saubers ahead. Wow. High-flying Saubers. So yeah, they brought in some really good upgrades for Bahrain. Either that or their car really suits it. They're also on the soft tyres, so we can play the long game a little bit here if we can't overtake them. We will eventually, so it won't be too bad. We'll also, I think we should have the quicker top speed. Alpine are the most powerful on the grid. Very strange to say, but they must have put a lot of their upgrades towards that. They might be really strong around here. Doohan is behind, but Gasly is up front in P7, I think that is, or is that a Williams? He might be even higher, I don't know. Look at that, Bortoleto going for a move on his teammate. Nico Hülkenberg. That gives us a chance as they really slow down. Leclerc is getting pretty close for comfort as well.
Fine. Let's try and move forward.
We do need to watch out for that.
Now use DRS. DRS now available.
Bortoleto making the move on Hülkenberg. I think he's going to get it done. Side by side still. Hülkenberg does yield. They're going to fight again here. Bortoleto and Hülkenberg fighting. And that allows us to go around the outside and take the both of them. So, just like we did with Leclerc and Behrman, we were able to do with the two Saubers. too busy caught up in their own battles. And we managed to take the position from both of them. Really good double overtakes there, and now we're up into P8. Ahead of us is the Williams of Sainz, the Haas of Ocon, and the Red Bull of Cali Meyer. We want to get up there. We know we can get up there. Of course, them lot are on the soft tyres right now, so might be a while. But we can play the long game. And we will be on the soft tyres in the second stint, so if we can get some really good work done on these mediums, who knows how quick we're going to be on the softs. Bortoleto is going to be a bit of an issue though. Seems to be on pretty good form. Hulkenberg, I think he might have an issue. As he seems to be backing up the pack. Right, we're going to turn off ERS. Yeah, Hulkenberg's pit. So Hulkenberg might have took damage from that exchange with Bortoleto and myself. I definitely gave them enough space when I made the overtake. There was no contact whatsoever, so Hulkenberg might have tried to dive down the inside, perhaps? I don't know. We could have a look at the replays at the end, but Hulkenberg has pit. Kick Sauber are not going to be happy with that. And a dream qualifying ruined by their own drivers, so they will not be happy with that. Hulkenberg will be all the way down in last now. No hope of catching up to the points unless there is a safety car at play. Seem to be doing pretty good at getting away from Bortoleto. Not really trying too hard to overtake the cars ahead. Cali Meyer is starting to gap the Haas of Ocon and Sainz, which, if that happens, that means Ocon will not have DRS, which might potentially serve up an overtake for us. Sainz looking for a move on Ocon. Let's see what we can do on the main straight. We do need to find an area where we can save a little bit more on ERS.
Gap to your teammate behind, 6.9 seconds.
Look at that now, side by side. I can see the McLarens up ahead fighting. They're not too far ahead. Looks as though Gasly is in P3.
Okay, clear.
Yellow flags behind us. I don't know what that is, but Bortoleto catching me unawares here. Oliver Behrman out of the session. Second race in a row. Oliver Behrman, most likely an engine failure, as we now go side by side with Gabriel Bortoleto. We do manage to stay in front for now. We do need to catch up to the two cars ahead of us though. Leclerc is now caught up to Bortoleto. So whatever hampered their efforts at first, well, Leclerc was obviously blocked off by Hulkenberg, so maybe Hulkenberg knew he was coming in and the team instructed him to keep Leclerc behind for Bortoleto. I don't know. Ocon is definitely out of DRS range now, so absolutely Sainz is going to be looking for that move. Let's see if we can get an opportunity out of it. No, Ocon seems to be pretty powerful on the straight.
At the moment. Just focus on the
Sainz though, look at this. Oh, Ocon playing a little dirty there. I definitely saw a double move from Ocon there, that's for sure. As Sainz slides out of the exit of that corner, leaving the opportunity for us. Can we get this done? And yes, we can. Slow down the car, completely block off Sainz. He's going to come back at us though, or at least try to. We're going to get right in front of that, shut the door on him. And now we have a chance to catch up to Ocon, who will not have DRS. He seems to be pretty powerful on the straight, but if this lap was anything to go by, he might only be there because he was defending a bit dirty against Sainz. If this was real life, I guarantee he absolutely would have copped a penalty, as now we're starting to struggle on the mediums, so I don't know how the soft tyres are feeling, but these mediums are starting to struggle as we slid out of the corner earlier. We need to do a little better at catching up to Ocon. I don't know how good those soft tyres really are. Let's have a look though. Use the last of the CRS. We are not catching up to Ocon.
Ahead is a Haas.
I can tell, thanks. Oh shit, it's a Haas. Right, we need to save up ERS now. Ocon definitely looking quick. The Sainz looks for the move. I'm going to squeeze him to the inside. Right, we'll save ERS through this section. I usually brake a bit later than the AI anyway, and we'll have more grip at this point. Right, we'll put hot lap on as we have DRS on Ocon. The AI do have that acceleration, so there is that to worry about, but we're going to have a lot more ERS this time out to catch up to the Haas. Alright, here we go. This could be our chance. Look at that acceleration. That is crazy from the Haas. We might have enough to get the move done. Ocon's going to try and squeeze us to the inside. I'm going to commit just to make sure we can get the move done. And it is done.
Nice move. Good job.
Ocon going to come back at us. I'm going to squeeze him to the inside. Little payback right there. Yeah, Gasly's in P4, which should mean Leclerc might be out ahead. Oh no, not Leclerc, Verstappen. I think Verstappen is leading. Brakes a little late there. Too busy focusing on that. Yeah, Verstappen in the Ferrari is leading the Bahrain Grand Prix. So the McLaren's bottled the start and Verstappen is well out ahead. So that means Norris and Piastri must have done some fighting. We seem to have gapped Ocon. Hopefully that means the mediums are now really starting to come into fruition. They are pretty worn out though. I can't imagine how bad those softs might be. Maybe we can go a little bit longer on the mediums. Really depends if we've got the pace. We could go a lap or two longer. I don't want to go too long. We are catching up to Cali.
We're approaching the pit window. You're going to be on softs.
Sainz and Ocon doing battle again. Sainz might have just managed to finally get past Ocon, as Bortoleto is still doing battle with Leclerc. I think Leclerc just made it past Bortoleto. Really good battling going on in this Grand Prix so far, and we're only 8 laps in.
We want to keep them behind, please. It's critical for our race.
Yeah, I don't think we need to worry about Ocon. He seems to be occupied with Sainz. So we could focus on getting after Cali in the Red Bull. We don't seem to be making too much progress, so that Red Bull seems to be a lot better than the R&D chart suggests. Same with the Alpine. Yeah, this just goes to show how bad our chassis is. It's a big, big deal.
Okay, gap to the car in front, 2.0 seconds.
We've got really good aero, powertrain on par with a lot of other people, so it is literally the chassis that makes the car this bad. which is why I'm focusing so much upgrades on it, and Imola might be a really good weekend for us if we can get those parts in. Oof. We will be pitting on the next lap, maybe. Really depends, because those softs do not seem to be any good. Because, I mean, look at how worn out the mediums are. Imagine how bad the softs are going to be by the end of the race. I don't even want to think about it. But we're gaining some pretty good time on Cali now. I think it might be too little too late. There's Piastri in the pits.
We're going to box this lap and push hard on the in-lap.
Interesting. Verstappen was on hards. I think all the top three were on hards. I think we will pit on this lap, you know. Norris leads right now. Gasly behind him. That powertrain really coming to fruition for Alpine, that's for sure. Callie's having a really good race. I'm having a tough time catching up to her. In fact, I haven't gained much. The car really does not want to turn in that particular corner. Don't know if you noticed that. We definitely lost time on that corner, that's for sure. And that is a chassis issue. These tyres would last a lot longer if we had some better upgrades. Which we will get soon. As early as next race. We'll have to deal with it for now. But we will be one of the quicker cars in this second stint, so I'm not too worried. Yeah, I'm going to pit on this lap. We did think about pitting a lap later, but I'm going to go for this one. Callie is not going in, so I think we'll be undercutting her.
Okay, don't worry about that target for now. Let's just focus on this pit stop.
Okay. In we go. Let's see what we can do. I think Verstappen might be winning this race.
Okay, off we go, back into the race. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that.
I don't know why, but that pit stop felt a little slower, but apparently it wasn't, so...
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Alright, here we go then. Well, let's see what we can do. I'm not going to use too much ERS. I think I'm just going to use the same strategy I did before. Get a little bit more front brake bias. Or a little less, I mean. Alright, Gasly's up ahead on the mediums. Only 5 seconds separate us and him. And we are on the soft compound, so... we might have a chance to catch up. Perhaps. I don't know where we're going to end up. I definitely think we're overtaking Callie. That's for damn sure. There goes Yuki.
Okay, Yuki is coming in for his stop now.
And Kali is just coming out now, so there is us in P5. Not sure if we'll catch up to Gasly. Why? Right. That must be stick drift or something. I don't know, but it just does not like going into turn 1. Look at this. Like, I'm turning right here, and look at the way my wheel, like, twitches back towards the left. I'm not doing that. And that cannot be tyre wear, because these are new. I'm alright, Alfie. How about you, mate?
ERS is low, ERS is low. Consider changing mode on your MFD, or lift a little with gentle braking into corners to recharge it.
Right, I'll try to wrench the left joystick a little bit more downwards. Maybe it might be some dead zone, perhaps. Maybe a little bit of stick drift. We'll figure it out.
Okay, gap ahead, 5.0 seconds. Okay, mate, right, we've got some clear track in front of us, so let's make best use of it and make the next lap a quick one. You got this.
I don't think we're going to catch Gasly in time, unfortunately. So unless there's an engine failure up front, I don't think we're scoring much higher than a P5.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
Lando Norris sets the fastest lap.
The car behind's just boxed for mediums. Car behind on the medium tyre now. Oh, mate, great stuff. You hit that target. That sets us up nicely for the rest of this race. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 17.4 seconds.
We are gaining on Gasly by a considerable amount, at least by that lap. Let's get some confirmation.
Gasly's ahead of you, and gap to the car in front, 4.4 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 2 laps old. Time last lap, 1 minute 29.9.
2 tenths quicker. Only 2 tenths. Not a good sign. We are gaining time slowly but surely, but I think it's too slow. Norris takes the lead against Verstappen. I think Verstappen might have started on the softs. And that's why he had that lead. But now they've swapped. Norris is most definitely on the softs. Which means Verstappen would be on the hards.
Okay, that's 4 seconds to the next car. Push, push.
Yeah, we're not gaining enough.
Keep managing your tyres, manage your tyres.
Yeah, we're not going to catch Gasly. Tyres would be swaying in his direction now for mediums, so yeah. P5 is all we can muster up. It's alright. Still pretty good.
Just completed a pass for the lead.
But it doesn't seem like we're going to win the championship this season. That's for sure. Yeah, alright, we're just going to drive till the end now. Let's see where Yuki is.
Gap to your teammate behind, 17.6 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're in 14th place. And the time last lap, 1:29.6.
Might have been better off pitting earlier for the hards instead of the softs, because this strategy isn't working. That's for sure.
Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 4.0 seconds. Okay, there's a 4-second gap between you and the car ahead. Keep pushing.
Mayer and Leclerc doing battle. I think Leclerc pit later though, so and he's in the Ferrari, so yeah, no chance for Cali. Gasly's gaining time on us consistently now, so these soft tyres have completely run out. So we just got to drive till the end. Make sure Leclerc doesn't catch up to us. Norris is down to P3. Considering he was in the lead earlier, that is interesting. We'll have to watch some of the replays towards, like after this race, just to see what happened at the front. I also want to see what happened to Hulkenberg. Yeah, Leclerc has caught up to us by a second, so yeah, we really need to lock in. Yeah, these tyres definitely giving me a hard time now. I'm going to turn the brake bias all the way down to 50%. Just give us a little bit more sensitivity.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 5.0 seconds. At the moment, the car behind is lapping faster than us by around a second a lap.
Yeah, it's no good.
We're catching the car ahead. Well done, but be aware these tyres need to get us to the end of this race.
We are not catching the car ahead at all. What do you mean? Not with these tyres. But yeah, Leclerc is absolutely going to catch up towards the end of the race, so at this point I'm just saving on ERS as much as I can so we can defend against him. I think he'll catch us in time for the last lap, so yeah, I definitely want to make sure we're ahead and we have enough battery to fight him. Not ideal. Where's my fucking TV remote? There we go. Just going on standby. We're just over a second behind now.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 6.1 seconds.
Yeah, starting to have real difficulty with these tyres now. We'll have DRS, I'm not worried.
Come on, you can win that place back. Okay, final lap, let's go, final lap. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 17.0 seconds.
That was scary, that's for sure. And it will be scary across the line as well, so we need to make sure we've got enough ERS to get across it without Leclerc taking us over the line. Yeah, Gasly putting out a real surprise result for Alpine. Certainly very interesting.
Okay, gap to the car ahead, 7.1 seconds.
It's Oscar Piastri who wins. Interesting. Right, come on. It's going to be really close over the line, but we just about keep it. Oh.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
P5. Let's go. Oh, not bad. I feel like Gasly came out of nowhere to get that P4, but yeah, we should have had a much better qualifying.
What a performance! What a win!
But surprisingly, Piastri takes the win, considering he was P3 coming out of the final pit. So
I mean, it looked like they were in a different category
not bad
at points during the race. Led every lap. I mean, what more can we say?
From lights out to the checkered flag, each and every driver has this moment in the back of their mind. Now it's time for their celebrations. Our podium, it awaits.
Not bad.
They give out trophies for the winners. Today, they're Oscars. Your winner today, Oscar Piastri.
Well, unfortunately, my internet seems to really fucking hate me, and my audio has still gone out of sync with the video. I don't know if it's just the game video or just my fucking camera, but this always happens. I really don't understand how. I've turned the stream quality down and everything, but this is the second day in a row that this is happening now. I don't understand how to bring the stability of the stream up, but
After an
there you
event
go.
like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out. Be sure to...
Right, I want to know what happened to Hulkenberg. So here's him fighting with Bortoleto. Lap 1, obviously, no, lap 2 is when we caught up. So here I am. We'll keep an eye on Hulkenberg just to see what happened. But yeah, he's fighting side by side with Bortoleto. And here we are. Very quickly taking advantage of that battle. Hulkenberg dives down the inside. And yeah. Bortoleto turns in. There goes the front wing. You can see it fly through. Yeah, they had more than enough space. I gave them... Look at the acres of space that they've got there. Bortoleto could have gone a little... Look at the acres of space here. Literally, most of my car is off the track, right? There is no reason for Bortoleto to squeeze Hulkenberg. Like, he's literally, like, turning into Hulkenberg. Look at that. He literally turns in to Hulkenberg before... That is not where the steering point is. So, that's really sneaky. That's really dirty from Bortoleto. I'm surprised he didn't get a penalty for that. But that's how Hulkenberg ended up having to pit early. Let's see what happened with these. So, obviously, Verstappen is on the softs. They're all on the softs. So, Verstappen actually bottled this race, it seems. So Verstappen pit about the same lap as Piastri did. Piastri's got acres of space around him. Norris pits later. And then, yeah, this is how it ends up. So Piastri actually caught up over time, as you could tell. And Norris and Verstappen were just holding each other up. And eventually, Piastri catches up, takes over Norris, goes past Verstappen, and wins the race. Very easy win for Oscar Piastri. Very impressive. We've got double points finish for Red Bull, so really good for them. Callie especially had a pretty good race. She probably, if she pitted earlier, she would have been a lot better, I think. Definitely would have been battling with me, but ended up battling with Leclerc instead, and Leclerc ended up catching up to us. Yeah, very close across the line there. Leclerc definitely would have overtaken us. We were basically using the last bits of ERS that we had. But, yeah. That was the Bahrain Grand Prix. I would have wanted to do a second Grand Prix, but unfortunately my stream... I don't know, I seem to be having real issues with it lately. It just always likes to go out of sync. And then I'll just have a look at that right now, and it's just out of sync. And unfortunately, like, I'd be fine if it was only a little bit out of sync, but the longer I do the stream, the more out of sync it goes. So, we're only doing the one race today. I will be back for another episode tomorrow, but, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in and watching this episode of F125 Career Mode. If you guys liked it, be sure to hit that like button as hard as you possibly can, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time for some more F125. Peace.